Angeles area, where we are about to present the World Boxing Organization Junior Featherweight Championship. 122-pound weight limit. The undefeated champion, Marco Antonio Barrera, with a record of 39-0, 27 of his wins inside the distance, taking on the former IBF champion, Kennedy McKinney, with a record of 28-1-1, 17 of his victories by the knockout route. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, you see a marked difference in their age. McKinney now at 30 years of age and well schooled. Barrera only 22. McKinney has the height advantage. He has the weight and reach advantage as well. All of the physical advantages, it would appear, belong to Kennedy McKinney, with the exception of that age. That could work against him, with Barrera's youth being something in his favor, especially the way that he has come on. He certainly seems to be just approaching his prime and has been an absolute sensation in the last year. I suspect tonight Barrera will be the crowd favorite, and despite the fact that McKinney is an American and this bout taking place in America, he will enter the ring perhaps a bit of a villain here this evening. Many fans have watched Marco Antonio Barrera grow up in this very ring here at the Great Western Forum, have watched his career develop, and are certainly in his corner here tonight. But this is a fine fighter, Kennedy McKinney. A fine fighter, a 1988 U.S. Olympic gold medal winner and the Olympic Games after a magnificent amateur career. He was the only American ever, and to this day, to win the gold medal at 119 pounds in the Olympic Games. Behind him is manager Akbar Mohammed, who certainly was not shy either with his comments this week about what is going to happen in this fight. The Kennedy McKinney camp is extremely confident. And now, as you can tell by the cheers in the background, his opponent, Marco Antonio Barrera, looking as always focused and intense, about to come into the ring. The Forum is in a frenzy as Marco Antonio Barrera makes his way down the aisle. He appears to be the logical successor to Julio Cesar Chavez as the idol of Mexico. Certainly Chavez is still number one, but if there is an heir apparent, this may be the man. Barrera in 1995 fought 5 times, won the world championship, and then defended 4 times successfully. He's a popular kid, very intelligent, very polite, well-mannered. He comes from a middle-class, upper middle-class family, in fact. He is not in the boxing tradition of the poor youngster who works his way up out of poverty into the ring. He actually did not need to be a boxer, but has chosen this way of life. He is attending a university in Mexico City. He has hopes and dreams of being an attorney. And we have seen his popularity just grow in the last year. Michael Buffer now will have the introductions of the fighters.
Forum Boxing, in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Junior Featherweight Championship of the World. This bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Chairman William Eastman, Vice Chairman NFL Hall of Famer Willie Buchanan, Commissioners in attendance at ringside Kim Welshons and Andrew Kim, Executive Officer Richard DeCure. This contest is also sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, President and Supervisor at ringside Francisco Barcarcel. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Robert Byrd, Wiesel Fernandez, and Lou Filippo. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Pat Russell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Great Western Forum here in Englewood, California, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing maroon trimmed with gold and weighing in at 122 pounds. In 1988, he captured Olympic gold, and now as a professional, he has a record of 28 victories, 17 by knockout with only 1 defeat and 1 draw, and 2 world titles to his credit. Tonight, he is looking for another one. Ladies and gentlemen, the current WBO title holder and 2-time featherweight champion of the world, the challenger, Kennedy, the King, McKinney. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing white trimmed with red and weighing in at 121 pounds. He brings a perfect record of 39 victories without a loss, 27 by knockout, and he is considered by most to be one of the best in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated junior featherweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros, con Ciudad de Mexico DF, Marco Antonio Barrera.
Rounds, championship of the world. Touch your gloves, go back.
All right, as you can probably tell, there is tremendous enthusiasm in this building tonight, an electrifying atmosphere as we get ready for what has been described as the best 122-pound matchup for the title in perhaps 25 years. Here we go, round 1. Marco Antonio Barrera, the champion in the white trunks. Kennedy McKinney, who figures to be the better boxer, in the gold and red trunks. You saw McKinney wearing a Los Angeles Lakers, the professional basketball team jersey here in Los Angeles. He had the jersey on of Magic Johnson, known to you all around the world as one of the great basketball players and who returned to pro basketball just this week with the Los Angeles Lakers. But now to this fight, because this should be a corker, in the first hard punch landed by Antonio Barrera. A strong right hand. And McKinney's in a little bit of difficulty here in round 1. McKinney has never been stopped, but he's finding the going rough here in round 1. And Marco Antonio is relaxed and not going wild. McKinney, remember, has been through a lot in his career. He was, in fact, the night that he won the title from Welcome Nacida, in desperate trouble in the 10th and 11th rounds of that bout. In fact, was down in the 11th round and knocked Nacida out in that same round, well behind on points, and you just saw that right hand, a corker by Kennedy McKinney. His first big punch. Now there's that left hook to the body by Barrera. He's an effective body puncher and putting his punches together. Barrera moving forward. His last fight, November 7th, he stopped a talented contender, Eddie Croft, in 7 rounds in what was a magnificent performance at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Last fight for Kennedy McKinney, August 26th. It took him 8 rounds to defeat the Irish sensation, John Lowy, in Chicago. But that was the only fight for McKinney in 1995. Barrera has been far more active. Fans are into this one. McKinney has a powerful right hand. Look out for it. It's a straight right. Barrera had a scintillating opening minute of this bout. Right hand catches McKinney off balance. McKinney answers back. Now Barrera comes back. Barrera trying to bang the body of McKinney. McKinney promised not to box and move, but to stand in there and slug with Barrera. Some think that would be a mistake. Bell brings to the End of round one, a red-hot first round here at the Great Western Forum. Back into the corner now with Kennedy McKinney. All right, as we take a look at round one action, there's that right hand by Barrera. Boy, did McKinney feel that one. He staggered back from the power of that Barrera right. That came in the opening minute of the fight, and still another right hand by Barrera. McKinney had some rough moments there in the first round and takes a big, deep breath as he gets ready for round number two. Kennedy McKinney won the IBF title in 1992 with a knockout in 11 rounds of Welcome Nocita, the fight I mentioned earlier. When well behind on points, he knocked out Nocita in the 11th round in Tortoli, Italy. He made 5 successful defenses of the title and then lost the crown in August of 1994 to Vijani Bungo. McKinney is another fighter who has had some personal problems outside the ring, a battle with drugs, but he's been clean and sober and back in the ring and fighting well. Now trying to get his jab to work here in round number two. If McKinney can get that jab to work to good effect, he can follow it with the straight right hand, which is a bread and butter punch for him. But Barrera moving forward and pounding away. Barrera with a sensational start in this fight. McKinney wants to get his jab into a rhythm now to keep Barrera off of him. Watching closely, I'm sure, in England tonight, Prince Nassim Hamed, the 126-pound WBO champion. Good right uppercut by McKinney. Hamed and Barrera, it would seem, are in a collision course, a showdown someday in the next year or so. But would have to be an unbelievably big fight, especially if it takes place in England. But right now, McKinney fighting better here in round number two. Barrera trying to work that left hook to the body. It was a surprise to see Barrera able to land that right hand of his to the head so quickly in this bout. Within the first minute, he had landed 2 strong straight rights that had McKinney in some difficulty. McKinney told me earlier this week he thought Barrera had a left hook only, and that was it. He said, I'll give him that. He's got a good left hook, but that's it. Well, he tasted the right hand here, and I'm sure he's changed his mind about that. The referee is Pat Russell. Good strong right hand by Kennedy McKinney. That's that straight, quick right hand we told you about. It's a powerful weapon for him. Pat Russell warns the guys to watch the clash of heads. Barrera digging the left hook to the body as the bell ends round two. It is Ricardo Maldonado who claims that he has been in touch with those in Britain trying to arrange a Hamed fight for Barrera, but that he has been turned down on numerous occasions. Round three, scheduled for 12, WBO Junior Featherweight Championship, 122-pound weight limit. I'm Rich Murata, ringside at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles, California. Marco Antonio Barrera, the champion in the white trunks. Hard to believe that Barrera, just a year ago, was not even a world champion. And in less than a year, he is making his 5th defense of the championship. That's why he is ranked right now on most of those pound-for-pound lists as number 5 or 6. Most people consider, at least so far in his career, only Roy Jones and Pernell Whitaker, De La Hoya, and perhaps Felix Trinidad is above Marco Antonio Barrera on those top 10 pound-for-pound lists. McKinney begs to differ and hopes to show the world that those lists are wrong tonight. There's a crunching right hand, though, by Barrera. McKinney has the ability to mix it up in the ring. He can be a good boxer. He can move. He can stand and slug if need be. Pretty much an all-around fighter. His amateur career was outstanding. 260 victories, only 10 defeats. As we mentioned earlier, an Olympic gold medalist. An exchange of left jabs. Barrera sometimes throws the jab almost out as an afterthought. But his big punches are his power punches, that left hook to the body especially. McKinney really uses his jab as a weapon. That left hand on the borderline, but McKinney does not complain to referee Pat Russell. Barrera slowed down a little in this round after that blistering pace that was set in the first 2 rounds. Half a minute to go in round 3. Good counter right hand by McKinney, but now Barrera answers right back. Barrera seemed almost insulted by the fact that McKinney hit him, and he answered back with a salvo with his own shots. Barrera showing a little bit of lateral movement there and trying to counter McKinney some in this round. That slight bruise under the left eye very early in the fight with one of those right hands that he absorbed from Barrera in that first round. Barrera is always in magnificent shape. His work ethic is magnificent. His conditioning always superior. As you can see, he's not drawn a deep breath yet. He has not even opened his mouth yet in terms of breathing. Now McKinney getting that jab to work, and it's a good one. Marco Antonio Barrera with the toughest test of his career right here against a former world champion who has lost only once in 30 fights. Barrera unbeaten in 39. Barrera, it appears, being bothered a little by that McKinney jab. But now Barrera launches a right hand that backs McKinney up. Barrera hoping to slow down McKinney with those body shots, keep him in punching range where he can unload those power blows. Working on the body, this could pay off big for him in later rounds. There's no doubting the bravery of Kennedy McKinney in the ring. He's a courageous fighter in addition to being a very able boxer. He proved that in his title-winning effort with Welcome to Cedar. And McKinney getting to work. Barrera trying to fight off the ropes. This is an unusual position for Barrera. It is usually he who has his opponent pinioned up against the ropes. Barrera looks in terrific shape, however. I don't even think he's taking a rest here, but he's trying to fight off the ropes, and McKinney is coming on. No question about it. McKinney enjoying a good fourth round. Chavez trying to counter at times. But McKinney having success in round 4. There's that right hand by McKinney. Good uppercut inside by Barrera. A different strategy for Marco Antonio Barrera than we've seen before. Laying back in this round and now trying to come on. Red hot action here in round 4, and here comes Barrera. Barrera with a big rally at the end of the round. Crowd roaring at the Forum as Barrera winds up. You heard Kenny Adams, his trainer, telling McKinney, this is what makes a great champion. I can recall Emmanuel Stewart saying the same thing to Tommy Hearns in a fight against Sugar Ray Leonard when Hearns was in trouble. And Hearns answered back in the next round. But here, Barrera, with that final 30 seconds, may have taken the round from McKinney after McKinney had dominated the first 2.5 minutes of the round. The rounds are flying by. Marco Antonio Barrera, the champion in the white trunks. Kennedy McKinney, the challenger and former IBF champion, in the gold and red trunks. And these two are setting a blistering pace. It is just what we hoped for and expected. Barrera is always just tremendously intense. And McKinney, although he mouthed off during the week and tried to get inside Barrera's head, as we see that right hand of McKinney snap Barrera's head back again, has been a professional completely in that ring tonight. There have been no shenanigans, no talking, none of the ridiculous posturing that we see sometimes at fights. These two guys are professionals, and it's been all business in there tonight. Good combination by McKinney. Backs Barrera up again. Barrera into that same spot along the ropes where he spent much of last round. Now he slides off. There's that counter right by McKinney, a thing of beauty. Barrera just missed that right hand. McKinney again enjoying success here in round number 5, but now Barrera, just like he did the last round, answering back in the final minute. McKinney uses his shoulder to push Barrera off of him, to shove him back, and draws a warning from Pat Russell. Good left hook to the body by Barrera. McKinney complaining of a low blow. Pat Russell ignored the complaint. Final seconds now of round 5. End of the round, the two swap blows for a moment or two at the end of the round. Corner with Marco Antonio Barrera, the 22-year-old world champion. action there. There's that low blow that McKinney was complaining about. But boy, Kennedy, that is a dangerous move to take your head away, pull it back, and look away from Barrera and at the referee. Protect yourself at all times in the ring is the old axiom of the ring. We are in round 6. Barrera starting a little faster here now in round 6 than he did in rounds 4 and 5. McKinney showing some bruising underneath each eye. McKinney would appear to be behind on points in this fight to Barrera right now, but must keep in mind that he was, for all intents and purposes, beaten in his title-winning effort against Welcome Nocita when he scored a knockout in the 11th round. Hot exchange between the two there. Ooh, a good right uppercut by McKinney in close. And Barrera just comes right back. Barrera had a fight similar to this in Las Vegas at Caesars Palace against former bantamweight champion Eddie Cook, where the two swapped blows and Barrera finally just outwilled him. Well, this is a tremendous battle of wills between these two tonight. And McKinney has landed a shot that has sent Barrera sliding back along the ropes. And in a little bit of difficulty, it appears. McKinney has Barrera backing up. An unusual strategy, if that is one actually being employed by Barrera, because normally we see him pressing forward always. But now Barrera answering back. Oh, that was a good left hook in close, but here's McKinney right back. A tremendous battle between these two here in round number 6. Chopping right hand by Barrera. Two exchanging blows. Barrera landing the more effective in this exchange. Good left uppercut inside by Barrera. McKinney fighting back. Look at these two go at it. Right hand Barrera and a right hand by McKinney right back. Unbelievable action. It's turning into a Pier 6 brawl. No science here. Here comes Barrera now. McKinney staggers back. McKinney in trouble. Giving away some. The two just exchanging blows. Brutal to watch. Unbelievable action. Hard right by McKinney and a right by Barrera. End of the round. Put that one in the highlight reel film, folks. We've just seen the round of the year for this year. Here we go into round 7. I don't think it gets any better than what we saw in round 6. The action was so brutal it was almost hard to watch. Fans now rallying to Barrera, chanting Mexico, Mexico. McKinney was giving way at the end of the round, but still dangerous. Barrera with that big left hook in that exchange. Scintillating action. Hope you're enjoying this HBO World Boxing production tonight. Glad you're with us around the world. McKinney's still dangerous, you better believe it. Strong right hand nearly turned Barrera around. Barrera often, when he gets hurt or stung, will come firing back. Approaching the halfway mark of round number 7. Barrera, now remember, has been warned on a couple of occasions for low punches. There's been nothing really blatant, But McKinney complained once, and he has been warned. Oh, good combination by McKinney. Came right back and straightened Barrera up. That silences the Barrera fans. Good body work by Barrera. McKinney answers back with that tremendous right of his. And again, McKinney with the right hand. Barrera says, come on, bring it to me. And McKinney is doing just that. McKinney very dangerous with that right hand. Kennedy McKinney dominating the action here now, having a strong round 7. Again, a slight warning from Pat Russell to Barrera to keep the punches up. Half minute to go in round 7. Good jab by McKinney. We haven't seen much of that in the last few rounds as he's been willing to exchange and go toe-to-toe with Barrera. Been a fabulous right hand that McKinney has shown here tonight, and a great left hook to the body that Barrera has displayed. Final seconds of round 7 in what is absolutely a war of attrition between these two. Belonged to Barrera. I thought McKinney had the edge in that round. And referee Pat Russell went over to the corner of Barrera between rounds and said, I'm going to give you a real hard warning about the low blows. Keep them up. We are in round 8, scheduled for 12. It's been a terrific fight so far. There have been no knockdowns. McKinney was staggered slightly in round 1 in the opening minute. The two have exchanged brutal salvos at times in this fight, but each man has chosen to just stand his ground and hang in there. A courageous performance by both of these fine fighters. I assume in England tonight, Naseem Ahmed is taking close notes at what he's watching with Barrera and McKinney. Possible opponent for him in the future. Now again, McKinney complaining about the low blows. McKinney goes right back to that jab. It's a nice jab Kennedy has. And he wants to use it to keep Barrera off balance, but more than that, to open up the avenue for his straight right hand, which is so quick and usually follows that left hand jab. Barrera, who is hopeful of replacing Julio Cesar Chavez in the future as the legend and the idol of Mexico. As you can see, he bears a facial resemblance to Julio and in some ways fights much like him. Good right hand by McKinney as Barrera got lazy for a second. Hard combination by Barrera puts McKinney down. Remember, McKinney has never been stopped in his career. Taking a mandatory 8 count. Nearly a minute to go here in the round. McKinney in trouble. That was a hard knockdown as Barrera comes forward to try to finish McKinney off. And McKinney is down again. Gets up. Big combinations by Barrera and McKinney not punching back. This time he legitimately goes down. Second knockdown of the round. Pat Russell with the mandatory 8 count. Here comes Barrera. Remember now, the 3 knockdown rule is in effect under WBO rules. One more knockdown and the fight is over. Barrera with a big combination. Barrera moving forward. McKinney not punching back. Barrera on the verge of a knockout victory. Inside the final 10 seconds of the round. McKinney now trying to fight back. Barrera, a huge round. Can McKinney survive? Waiting for the bell. There it is. Kennedy McKinney, worn to a frazzle finally in that round, gave way and was down twice. A savage combination by that man. Marco Antonio Barrera put him down the first time, and then he just threw so many punches that he had to go down again. Look at that right hand from Barrera, left to the body and a follow-up right. Down went McKinney. And he took the full mandatory 8 count. Then later on in the round, he just gave way. Too many blows by Marco Antonio Barrera, too many shots. Right hand, down he went. His manager, McKinney's manager, Akbar Muhammad, has even climbed up into the ring now. He's trying to wake up Kennedy if he can, and trying to get him back into the fight. Here we go into round 9. Kennedy McKinney, the former champion, in terrible difficulty in round 8. Marco Antonio Barrera on top now and trying to press his advantage. Left hook by Barrera to start things off. Barrera putting on a magnificent performance. McKinney in trouble again, trying to use all of his experience and all of his wisdom in the ring and all of his technique to hold off this force that is known as Marco Antonio Barrera. McKinney right now trying to get some kind of a rhythm, trying to get up on his toes, just trying to get himself in the fight. But Barrera chasing after. There's the couple of left jabs by Barrera. Looking for the opening for a big punch. McKinney wants to move and try to get his jab going again, but Barrera's not giving him any room. Barrera has him pinioned up against the ropes. McKinney trying to fight off of him. McKinney with all the courage that we expected, that he has shown before in his career. And again, that straight right hand, still a potent weapon by Kennedy McKinney. McKinney would probably just like to get through this round if he can, not take too much damage and get another minute's rest and then try to come back and fight hard in round 10. But we're only halfway through the 9th right now. McKinney literally running away from Barrera. McKinney in a survival mode right now. Now McKinney's eye is closing. His left eye is closing rapidly. And he's down again. 4, 5, 6. Pat Russell keeping Barrera in a neutral corner. This is what Barrera wanted after that incident at the press conference this week when he was insulted by McKinney. Barrera on the verge of retaining his championship in this scintillating fight. Third knockdown of this fight. "20 seconds to another minute's rest for McKinney, who is in terrible difficulty and probably falling out of it now on the judges' cards. McKinney looks very weary. He looks very tired and discouraged too as he throws the jab out. That's from fatigue. He's not normally wild with that right hand. The referee, Pat Russell, has called time and asked for the doctor to come into the corner with Kennedy McKinney. So this will be a long between rounds period while the doctor is in there with McKinney. This will not be the normal. In California, the rule is when the doctor is called into the ring, time is out. Now the doctor over there to visit with him. Doctor leaves the ring. McKinney wants to fight on. And there was confusion in the corner of Barrera. They saw referee Pat Russell winding his arm. They thought he was signaling the fight was over. That was not the case. He was signaling to the timekeeper to start the clock once again. They do this so that the corner man will have his full 60 seconds to give instructions. McKinney looked up at the sky and appeared to be praying. Round 10 underway. McKinney asked the doctor not to stop it, said, I'm all right. 10th round, yeah, 3 to go. McKinney was down twice in round 8, once more in round 9. He landed many potent shots through the first 7 rounds. It was, we told you, it was simply a battle of attrition. Who would wear down? A battle of wills. And it has been McKinney who finally has given way. Round 6 was as fine a round as I think you'll ever see in boxing. Barrera trying to set up the big knockout punch with his jabs, looking for it with the right hand. Even in this much trouble, you can see the experience of Kennedy McKinney. Look at that right hand by McKinney as he comes back. Another right hand. That one hurt Barrera. Barrera in a little bit of trouble, and he takes a left. And Barrera staggering a little bit. Barrera's in some trouble. That right hand by McKinney, he felt it. And Barrera's in trouble as he staggers back against the ropes. Do you believe this? Kennedy McKinney turning it around. Both fighters absolutely weary from the pitched battle, and it is Barrera who is in trouble here in round 10 as McKinney comes forward. McKinney now with body blows, and Barrera in danger of going down. Barrera has never been down in his career. Unbelievable drama here at the Great Western Forum in round number 10 as McKinney, who was on the verge of being knocked out in the 8th and 9th rounds, has Barrera in trouble, and now Barrera answers back. McKinney is so far behind on points, you would think that he would need a knockout, or at least to score some knockdowns here to get himself back into the fight in terms of the judges' scorecards. Barrera seems to be coming back to himself once again. Now he fights off the ropes. Good right hand by McKinney, and Barrera's mouthpiece went flying out. Barrera again hit with a right, and he's in trouble. McKinney answering back in a dramatic turnaround here in round number 10. Kennedy McKinney and Marco Antonio Barrera exchanging punches. Barrera fires back. Absolutely brutal fight to watch. Oh, referee Pat Russell picked that moment to put the mouthpiece back in the mouth of Kennedy McKinney. That did not seem the most opportune time to do it. Certainly not for Kennedy McKinney, who's having a huge round. The referee is supposed to pick a good moment where the action is sparse. Now the bell sounds to end the round, and Barrera had a very difficult round and a great round for Kennedy McKinney. They're quite clearly trying to rouse Barrera in his corner. They were slapping him in the corner. Barrera appeared a little discouraged there, and he had a very, very rough 10th round. This fight is somewhat reminiscent of the flyweight championship fight we saw here at the Forum last summer, in which an unheralded Thailand fighter by the name of Saman Sarchadarong fought Chiquita Gonzalez, the great light flyweight champion. Gonzalez had him down in the 5th and 6th rounds, and then in the 7th, out of nowhere, Sarchadarong knocked Chiquita out of the ring and knocked him out to win the fight. As we mentioned, the Forum has gathered a reputation as the house of upsets in recent years, and Marco Antonio Barrera does not want to be the latest victim of that here tonight. Barrera seems a little unsure of himself as we start round 11. McKinney showing courage that just has to come from within. Answering back in round 10. And now Barrera, perhaps refreshed by the 1 minute's rest, here in round 11, trying to come on strong. Hope you're enjoying HBO World Boxing Around the World. Earlier tonight, Johnny Tapia retaining his 115-pound WBO title. Down goes Barrera from a right hand. That is an official knockdown. His glove hit the canvas. A right hand by McKinney, and Barrera is down for the first time in his career. His glove hit the canvas. That's all you need for a knockdown. A lightning right hand by Kennedy McKinney, and now Barrera comes back and slips in the same spot that he did just moments ago. That knockdown was a half slip and a half punch. And Barrera having trouble with his footing, but McKinney has scored the first of the knockdowns that he needs, perhaps. Now Barrera trying to answer back. This fight has had many of the elements of the really great fights that we've seen in recent years. Unbelievable drama unfolding in this Great Western Forum ring here this evening. There have been 4 knockdowns in the fight. Barrera was knocked down in this, the 11th round. McKinney down twice in the 8th and once in the 9th. Barrera was on the verge of going down in the 10th. It is McKinney who is coming on now in the late rounds, though. Barrera hurt badly in the 10th, dropped here in the 11th. And McKinney could possibly now get a 2-point margin from the judges, although he's staggered with a right hand by Barrera. Bell ends the round. Pat Russell has to jump between the two. McKinney raises his arms, and that raises the ire of the fans in Barrera's corner. No way of telling how this fight is going to end up, even though there's 1 round remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? 12th and final.
All right, there you saw the flash knockdown in the last round. It'll be interesting to see if the judges record it in such a fashion as to give McKinney a 2.108 margin, as is normally the case in a knockdown round. It's the 12th and final round. Marco Antonio Barrera and Kennedy McKinney, and McKinney is down. McKinney complaining that it was not a knockdown, and that would seem to cinch a decision victory for Barrera. McKinney's going to have to come with something very strong here late in the fight. 5th knockdown of the fight. 2 have been controversial, that one and the knockdown of Barrera. McKinney's still very dangerous. He has shown in the last 2 rounds that he can indeed hurt Barrera. We all knew this would be Barrera's stiffest test, and it certainly has been that. Fans chanting Barrera, and Marco Antonio responds to that chant by moving forward. No knockdown. He actually tripped over the outstretched leg of Barrera. Left hook to the body by Barrera. Down goes McKinney. Down goes McKinney from that left hook to the body. Pat Russell was saying no knockdown, but that definitely was a blow to the body that put him down, no question about it. McKinney in danger of going down again. Barrera looking for the finisher. 1 minute to go. High drama at the Forum. It's McKinney in trouble now in round 12. And down he goes from the right hand. The fight is over. Marco Antonio Barrera, in one of the unforgettable fights of this or any other decade, has outlasted and outwilled the courageous Kennedy McKinney with a 12th round knockout here at the Great Western Forum. Fans who saw this tonight will never forget this one. An unforgettable evening of drama. And it is Marco Antonio Barrera who survives with his undefeated record intact, stopping the courageous and skillful former champion Kennedy McKinney in the last round. All right, take a look now at the start of round number 12. McKinney with that big right, but Barrera answering back himself and sending McKinney to the canvas. It was the 4th knockdown. Look at that left hook to the body by Barrera. McKinney just voluntarily went to a knee. He'd about had enough right there. Then Barrera just poured it on to try to finish it. Crunching right hand, down went McKinney, and that was the end of the fight.